Welcome back, everyone, and I'm here again with Jeff Grant, SBR contributor, and today we're looking at some college football regular season wins, and we're going to be looking particularly at the Stanford Cardinal. But first off, how are you doing this morning, Jeff?
Doing great, Dax. The countdown is officially on. 8 days until we get college football on the television.
Can't wait for it, my man. Can't wait for it. All right, but let's start talking about this one, Jeff. There's a stat that I think I found here that might be interesting, and it's about four-year head coach David Shaw, whose 34-7 record speaks very well of what he's been able to do with this team. Now, 5 of those 7 losses came when the school was outgained. Do you think that this could be an important stat to focus on for this 2014 season?
I think so, because Stanford is one of the more interesting teams to handicap heading into the 2014 season. They've had such great success that's carried over from Jim Harbaugh to David Shaw. It's been a seamless transition. They've carried it through even with Andrew Luck moving on to the National Football League to the Indianapolis Colts. But now the Cardinal are missing some key pieces. A lot of the offensive line are now gone. Their 1,700-yard rusher is gone. And they've been able to dictate play to their opponents over the last 4 years with David Shaw on the sidelines. I'm just not sure they're going to be able to do that with their current roster in 2014.
Right now, talking about that roster, the team will be getting back 26 starters on the offensive line for this season. They did lose running back Tyler Gaffney to the NFL. So my question here is, now, do you think that this junior quarterback, Kevin Hogan, is ready to lead this unit?
That's going to remain to be seen. It's going to be interesting to watch heading into the early stages of the season. Stanford has always been a dominant home team, so they shouldn't have any trouble in winning games with an experienced signal caller. But an interesting statistic that I read when looking at this team this morning is the fact that Hogan, he attempted just 17 passes in the team's victories a season ago. 17 attempted passes. So basically, like I said in the opening, Stanford likes to dictate its style of play, and a lot of that's just mauling teams on it, using its offensive line, and then also the fact that Stanford is usually up because of its strong defense, leading the nation in sacks since 2009. But I'm just not. I just don't see the pieces around Hogan for him to be able to carry the entire load.
Now, talking about that stat, it's 198 sacks since 2009. But now, Jeff, they have replaced a lot of key contributors from a season ago. Could this prove to be problematic in the Pac-12 conference play?
I think the Pac-12 conference is going to prove itself to be the best conference in 2014. I know everybody's excited about the SEC network and the Southeastern Conference dominance, but now we're moving from the BCS era to the college football playoff era, so there's going to be more teams involved, and I expect the Pac-12 to give a good account of itself because virtually every team returns a talented signal caller. And getting to that stat of Stanford leading the nation in sacks since 2009, a lot of those key contributors, like you said, are gone. And if they're unable to get after the quarterback in Pac-12 play, they're going to struggle. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
All right, man. So being the case that they're going to struggle, what would be the recommended case here? I mean, are you going to go on an over total or are you going to go on the under total?
I'm one of the biggest David Shaw backers that you'll ever find. I absolutely love his style of coaching. I think he's one of the best coaches in all of football, and he wants to stay in Stanford. He is an alum of that school, but this is going to be his toughest season in Palo Alto, but don't expect things to continue in that downward trend heading into 2015. But when we're talking about 8.5 wins this year, I have to go under the total.
All right, my man. Sounds like a solid pick here. Thank you once again, Jeff, and can't wait to talk to you again tomorrow.
Thank you.
For SportsbookReview.com, this is Dax Floyd.